As tensions flare between Iran and Israel, Russia has emerged as the most active diplomatic player, positioning itself as chief mediator in a crisis with global stakes. While the United States, under President Donald Trump, continues to back Israel, it has taken a visibly limited role in diffusing the conflict, and Russia has acknowledged that the world today divided over Israel-Iran war.
Of course, we have paid attention to this, and we continue to pay attention to this. We see that, in general, the international community is divided in its assessments of what is happening, into the camp of those who condemned what happened, the beginning of what is happening, I would say, and those who supported it and tried to justify it. We acknowledge this, and of course this is a very good lesson for everyone.
The Russian effort began on June 13th, shortly after Israeli airstrikes targeted Iranian territory, including nuclear sites. That same day, President Vladimir Putin spoke separately with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Putin condemned the strikes, expressed condolences over civilian deaths, and urged both sides to return to dialogue over Iran's nuclear program. With Netanyahu, he underlined that military escalation risks a wider regional war. Russia's diplomatic momentum was sustained by Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov, who held follow-up calls with his counterparts from Iran, Türkiye, and the UAE. Türkiye praised Russia's role in promoting de-escalation. Iran and Russia agreed to coordinate through the UN Security Council, IAEA, SCO, and BRICS. On June 14th, President Putin held a 50-minute call with President Trump. The Kremlin said Russia presented de-escalation proposals and briefed Trump on its outreach to both Tehran and Tel Aviv. Both leaders reportedly agreed that diplomacy must resume, but so far, the US has not launched any direct mediation effort with Iran. Meanwhile, the Russian Foreign Ministry described Israel's strikes as unprovoked and criticized their timing, which coincided with an IAEA meeting and a cancelled US-Iran talks in Oman. Moscow accused Israel of deliberately undermining diplomacy and urged the IAEA to assess possible radiological consequences. On June 16th, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov reiterated Russia's readiness to mediate. He warned against language suggesting regime change in Iran and recalled Moscow's earlier proposal to store Iranian uranium abroad, a plan now complicated by the airstrikes.
You know that over the last few days, Putin has had a number of important international telephone conversations. He has spoken with Mr. Netanyahu, Mr. Pezeshkian, and President Trump. Russia remains ready to mediate if necessary, including the proposals that President Putin outlined in his previous conversation with President Trump. In this regard, Russia's readiness and desire remain. If necessary, all this can be implemented.
The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, including Russia, China, India, and Iran, also condemned Israel's actions as violations of sovereignty. The bloc called for political solutions and warned of the consequences of targeting civilian and nuclear infrastructure. As the crisis deepens, Russia is leading diplomatic outreach, coordinating across capitals and institutions, while the United States appears aligned with Israel but absent from peace-building efforts.